Hello and welcome to the second part of Sports Talk right here on Tameside Radio. I'm Mark Phillip, Head of Sport at Quest Media Network, and as usual, I'll be taking a look at some of the biggest stories in the Tameside Reporter over the past 7 days. But as usual, we'll start this week's show by previewing the Premier League fixtures this weekend, which include Manchester City's home clash against Crystal Palace and Manchester United's trip to Tottenham Hotspur. And to preview both games, I was joined on the phone by Betfred's Alan Firkins to provide the latest odds in a number of markets. So obviously we've got two important fixtures this weekend in the Premier League. It's Manchester City hosting Crystal Palace, and then Manchester United make the journey to Tottenham Hotspur in that late kick-off. First of all, Alan, let's take a look at Manchester City, because they were eliminated from the Carabao Cup earlier this week at West Ham United. That came as a bit of a shock to me, really.
Yeah, it's a shame. They've had a fantastic run in the Carabao Cup. You can't knock them for that. 2016, I think, the last time they were beaten in the competition. The last four wins, the last four times Wembley wins. All good things have to come to an end, so they say. And a penalty defeat at West Ham, who are, let's face it, a very good side, in decent nick. David Moyes has got them ticking. It's no shame, but interestingly, this Palace visit, it's Pep's 200th Premier League match in charge of City. 2016 is when he rocked up to the Etihad. The Betfred odds of reward for this one, City are very prohibitive, as you can imagine, Mark. 1-6, 15-2 the draw, and 20-1 about Palace, who were a similar price. You might remember a couple of seasons ago when Andros Townsend hit that worldie in to beat the Blues. So you never can tell in footy, but City look pretty impregnable, I would have thought. 1-6 to celebrate Pep's 200th Premier League game in charge.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at this fixture and it's got the potential to be a banana skin. Like you said before, Townsend putting in that stunning strike from about 30 yards, unstoppable really. Do you think City will bounce back from that midweek defeat, or do you think this could be a banana skin?
No, I do think they'll bounce back. I've seen them a few times this season. I was at the Southampton game, which wasn't too fabulous, but the Leipzig performance, some of the away performances in Europe, they've looked pretty slick. They murdered Chelsea 1-0, if that doesn't sound too daft. And I think they should have beaten Liverpool at Anfield. So, I think they've been in pretty decent nick. They switched the pack around a little bit at West Ham. Cole Palmer got a start. I thought he did very well. He looks very promising. So that's one for the future. They give it a good go, but I don't think they'll be, absolutely broken-hearted to be out of the League Cup. They've had a fantastic run in it, as I say, and dare I say it, bigger fish to fry. That Champions League Holy Grail still remains there, tantalising for them.
Yeah.
So I do expect them to bounce back. I do, yes.
Yeah.
Patrick Vieira's very well with the Palace, but I do expect City to win this one reasonably comfortably.
Well, like you said then, the Champions League is the number one priority for Pep Guardiola's side, but you're looking at Manchester United now. They're making a trip to Tottenham Hotspur in that late kick-off, and for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's still in charge despite the 5-0 defeat against Liverpool last weekend. Should he still be in charge, Alan, or should they be looking elsewhere?
Mark, don't ask me a tricky one, will you? Why don't you? I don't think I better say too much on this one. Fred might be listening. Listen, I would hate to think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to leave his job, lose his position or whatever. I want United to turn it around. It's well advertised that my allegiance is lie perhaps on the other side of Manchester, but I'm a football fan. I'm a fan of great football and great footballers and great events and great moments. And United provided a million of those down the years in my lifetime. So I'll not hear too many bad words said about them. I just hope he can turn it around. Of course I do. If he doesn't, then I guess we know the kind of pressures he's going to be under.
Yeah.
I was really shocked, as many of your listeners, I'm sure, were, with what happened last Sunday. A few of the lads in the office are big United fans. They foresaw the disaster that was about to come. I thought, well, no, it's a 50-50 really. It's a huge game. Anything can happen. But they feared what might happen, and it in fact came to pass, which is very unfortunate. The thing that surprises me is the lack of confidence in the team. They've got players that have been at the sharp end of European finals, World Cup finals, won Premier Leagues, all sorts, you name it. And they looked shot. They looked absolutely shot of confidence.
Yeah.
And that is a surprise for me. and they've got to put that right pretty quickly. Tottenham are no great shakes, but it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They've got Harry Kane and one or two standout players. It's not an easy affair. Very interesting betting-wise, Mark, that we've got United as favourites. They're 11-8. Shows the name, the power of Manchester United still hovers over the betting markets despite that Liverpool defeat. Spurs are 2-1 and the draw's 13-5. I think it'd be a very brave man who'd stick the neck out for this one, frankly.
I was going to say, you're looking at that defeat last weekend, and if Manchester United do want to bounce back, they couldn't really ask for a better game at the moment because Tottenham, like you said, no great shakes. So, they've got a chance of winning, haven't they?
Of course they have, a very bright chance. And as I say, the bookies are good selves. We've got them at 11-8 favourites. We think a win for United is far more likely an outcome than any of the others. But, it's not going to be easy. They've got to get that boost in confidence, which was sadly lacking on Sunday. They've got a big European game in midweek, and then, of course, the Manchester derby on Saturday, November 6th. That's at Old Trafford, which is handy. But looking at what Liverpool did to United, they won't be thinking they want to let City do anything like that to them also. So let's keep our fingers crossed for a cracking performance at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to ease a bit of pressure off Ollie.
Well, our thanks as always go to Betfred for their ongoing support and sponsorship. We'll move into football news now, where the big news this week came from the Tameside Stadium, as Curzon Ashton acted quickly to fill the managerial vacancy following Steve Cunningham's departure. Farsley Celtic boss Adam Lakeland has taken the role and returns to the club, having enjoyed a brief spell with the Nash a few years ago. I spoke to him to get his views on a number of topics, including his aims and ambitions, the importance of fan support, his style of football and much more.
Probably the people, really. The people and the setup in general. Obviously, I've been here previously and enjoyed some really good times here working under John and Nev. Kind of went away and earned my own reputation really as a manager, and when the opportunity came up to speak with Wayne and Jimmy and the other directors, it was just one that I couldn't really pass by, and obviously having spoken to them and being given that opportunity to come back, it was just one that I felt was too good to turn down, and I'm really excited to be back here and just looking forward to getting started now.
So you've joined another team in the National League North, of course. You're doing really well with Farsley, so was it a bit of a wrench to leave them, and what really brought you back? You just said then it's about the family and the people and the community atmosphere, but it must have been a bit of a wrench to leave Farsley.
Incredibly tough. It was. I've built up a lot of good relationships there with the people in the back room and the immediate football support staff and of course the players, and certainly when you've been somewhere for so long and you've enjoyed some success, you build a bit of an affinity towards them. So it was incredibly difficult for me to come away, and it was tough, but ultimately it's football, and I probably deep down felt like I'd perhaps taken them as far as I could with the resources that we had, and obviously knowing everybody here, and they've already got a strong existing squad of players, and they've had a good start to the season, and I feel all of the resources are in place off the pitch to give me and my team the support here that we can to hopefully keep pushing Curzon forward, and hopefully we'll have plenty of success along the way.
Just to elaborate on that, you just said you took Farsley as far as they could go. Where do you think Curzon Ashton can go as a club? I mean, a lot of people suggest that they're punching above the weight in this division, but we've seen this season that they're not. Where do you want to take them?
I think the highest that they've ever finished is 10th in this league. So if I can get them to finish higher than that, then that's a part of history, and that'd be a great achievement for everybody concerned. Obviously they've got off to an excellent start this season, so it's a case of trying to build on that. In the short term, we've got a really tough run of fixtures, but every game in this league, home or away, regardless of who you're playing against, is difficult. So it's just about approaching each and every game, trying to win it, and I think that's the mindset that the players have got to have, because that's certainly the mindset that I've got, and hopefully we can, play some good football and get more good results than bad results, and see where that takes us. But I'm not coming here to kind of just make up the numbers and survive every year. I know that first and foremost for a club like Curzon that's got to happen. You've got to stay in this division. But for me, I'm an ambitious guy, and I start every season wanting to try and win the league or finish as close to the top as possible, and that'll be no different here, regardless of the size of the club and maybe the budget that we have in comparison to some of our competitors. We won't be looking and using that as excuses. Everything off the pitch is in place for the players to perform to the maximum on the pitch, and if I can help with that little bit of organisation and mentality and give the team a true identity, then we'll just have to see where that takes us.
And you're coming into the job at a really strange time due to COVID. The fixture on Tuesday was postponed, and then the one on Saturday, that's been cancelled as well. So you've got a bit of time now to get used to the players. What will the situation be now? You've just come into the job. When will you first meet the players and so forth?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Probably, I've got a couple of meetings tonight and need to speak to one or two people just to kind of clarify when we can get the lads in. Obviously, I want to, get them together and meet them as quickly as I can, and kind of embed some of those, principles, and let them know kind of what I'll expect from them and what they can expect from me as soon as we possibly can, really. But COVID's kind of thrown us a little bit of a curveball, but as you say, on the flip side, it's given us a little bit of time. So we'll just have to see how the next day or two go and see when we can get the lads in, and I'm just looking forward to meeting them, really, and hopefully we can. We've got a tough run of fixtures, but kind of the pressure will be off us to some extent. We've just got to go and enjoy the challenges in front of us and try and get as many points as we can.
So what can the Curzon faithful expect from yourself and your style of football?
Well, from myself, hard worker, honest. If we're rubbish, I'll come out and say that I think we've been rubbish. Ultimately the buck would stop with me as a manager, and that's no problem. I want my team to be competitive and to work hard, and I think something that the previous manager's done really well with here is he's kind of built that affinity between the team and the supporters off the pitch, and I think it's vital that relationship is maintained, and I think from being here previously and getting to know some of the supporters, they just want to see a team that gives everything every week and works hard and tries to play the right way. And I know some people perhaps have labelled the kind of team that I put together at Farsley as being a bit direct and physical and quite competitive, but there's reasons why we built a team that way, and that team was fantastic and ultimately got us a promotion and got us results, and that's what ultimately as a manager you're judged on. But coming here and the resources that we've got, the training facilities that we've got, the fantastic football surface that we've got, I want us to play a good brand of football, one that the players are proud of and look forward to playing every time they go on the pitch, and one that the supporters look forward to coming and paying the hard-earned money to watch. So hard working, giving it everything every game, trying to play the right way, and hopefully getting some good results.
And Curzon got a massive thriving junior section. I think from the age of about under 7s up to like under 18s, about 1,000 juniors, something like that. Will you be looking to bring some of these youngsters into the first team, say the under 18s? I know that previous manager Steve Cunningham was a little bit reluctant. He told me he thought physically they weren't up to the standard of this division. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, without seeing those players, then it's difficult to comment. It is a big jump for lads kind of that age to come into this division. It's such a competitive division that it is a big gap, and probably one that those players need a bridge somewhere between the under 18s and the first team to kind of showcase what the capabilities are, and and then kind of assess it from there as to whether or not we feel they're good enough. But one thing I would say is I've never been afraid to put young players in. You know, for me, age is irrelevant. It's if they're good enough, I'm not bothered. You know, whether they're 18 or 28. If I think that they're up to the job that I need them to do, then they'll get an opportunity regardless of their age. But you know, I think for now, the initial first team squad is a good squad that I'm inheriting. I'm looking forward to working with them, and you know, kind of throughout my time here, we'll obviously build them relationships and links with the junior setup and the junior section, and if there's any that you know are doing well, then we'll certainly give them opportunities to come in and train with us initially, and if they're good enough, they'll get the chance.
Brilliant stuff. And just finally, you touched up on it earlier, but about the fans at the Tameside Stadium, small in number but big in voice. How important will their support be in terms of the club pushing up the table?
Incredibly, you know, important. I think the supporters are important at every club and every level, and you know, kind of go back to when I was here previously, and probably the crowds were averaging less than 200, and now they're averaging just short of 400. So, you know, they've almost doubled in size, and I think there's so many people at the club that deserve a lot of credit for that. You know, the great work that they do within the community, and you know, getting more and more people in and around the facilities, and they come here, they have a good experience, and you know, that in turn then leads to more people coming and supporting the first team, which, you know, you need as many supporters as you can possibly get. So it's going to be massively important, and ultimately, you know, your fan base increases if you've got a team that are playing a good style of football and that are winning games of football. So, you know, hopefully I can you know, help the players to continue performing well, and you know, continue getting good results, and if we can keep getting a few more people through the door to add to the very loyal fan base that the club's already got, then that would be fantastic.
Adam Lakeland there talking about his appointment as Curzon Ashton manager. Now, the Nash unfortunately don't have a fixture this weekend due to a number of players contracted COVID-19 earlier this week. Elsewhere, it's FA Trophy action this weekend, with Ashton United hosting Atherton Collieries, Mosley making the short trip to Hyde United, and Stalybridge Celtic entertaining Yorkshire Amateur. Ashton entered a game having returned from Bamber Bridge last weekend with a 1-0 win in the NPL Premier Division. Meanwhile, Atherton were beaten 2-0 at Witton Albion on Tuesday night in the NPL Premier Division. Ashton boss Michael Clegg enjoyed great success with Atherton during his time with the club, delivering the call-free promotion in 5 years. Here's what he had to say to Ashton United TV following last weekend's victory at Bamber Bridge.
Couldn't get used to these Saturdays. 2 Saturdays, took 3 points on both, and we deserve that today. Listen, this is a tough place to come, but we've been great against all the top sides. So we thought we had a chance today. Obviously, showed some character because we missed a penalty first half, and we had a couple of good chances first half as well. But then it was just everything you want from a football game. They were knocking on the door at 1-0 to get an equaliser, but we're throwing bodies on the line, and the togetherness is unbelievable in there for the run we've been on. But we really do believe we can still go and accumulate a few points this year. And I was buzzing for the fans today. You know, they come in full force. They were nice and loud. It's like having another man, as cliche as it is. So it's great for them to get the 3 points.
You mentioned the missed penalty. Adam Senior takes the penalty. He's the one that misses it, and then it's the Bolton Morney that comes and pops up and scores the goal that takes the 3 points.
I mean, what a lad! He's everything. When you get lads in on loan, you just hope it works out. And with him, he's come in. He's bought into everything. He's a massive part of the group, and he's a leader at such a young age. And obviously, all our Jack Redshaw's at Chester. Tom Bentham were off. Cass was off. So it was a case of whoever feels confident in having it, have it. So he stepped up. He missed, but then he goes and gets the 3 points for us anyway. And he were great. And I think all the back four today. I mean, Sam Bird. People forget how young he is. What a performance from him again today. I mean, the way he attacks that ball and heads so aggressively and blocks, tackles, and he's a top player. So we just made up. It's been a good afternoon.
You said bodies on the line. You mentioned Sam Bird there. Harry Courts with a diving block. Tom Warren with one, but a superb save. body on the line save from Ollie Martin right at the death.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're here for. There's going to be crucial moments in games where you call upon your players, and it were needed today. I'd have been disappointed if we didn't get the 3 points, but I think as well, all credit's got to go to Millie. These struggled last year a bit, Bamber, and he's put a great side together. They play great football, and it's hard not enjoy watching them play sometimes. So first and foremost, credit to them and the job he's doing here, because I've been really, really pleased for him with that. I know how tough he had it when he went in, and they were good. So to come here against a team who were 4th away from home, we're absolutely delighted.
A break from league action next week, FA Trophy 3rd qualifying round at Hurst Cross against a side that you know so well in Atherton Collieries. It's going to be quite an emotional day, you expect?
Yeah, I mean, like when I first went back it was like that, and I think now it's been that long, and everyone knows I've got really good friends there. I'm really good friends with the manager, I'm good friends with a couple of the players, but it's a game we want to win. We've won 2 now, we want to go and try and win that 3rd game, and whether it were Coles or anyone, they'll be getting all respect in world like we do with every team we play against. But it's a game we really want to win. It's a game they want to win, and hopefully a start of a cup run, and that can lift us.
Ashton boss Michael Clegg there talking about the upcoming fixture against Atherton Collieries. Arguably the biggest game of the weekend comes at Ewan Fields as Hyde United host local rivals Mosley. Tom Pratt starred for Hyde in last weekend's 3-2 victory over Scarborough Athletic, scoring a hat-trick on the afternoon. The result ended the Tigers' 4-game losing run. Mosley retained their lead at the top of the MPL West on Tuesday evening with a 4-0 win at Runcorn Linnets. The Lily Whites' Mason Fawns has notched 5 times this season. And at Bowerfold this weekend, Stalybridge Celtic host Yorkshire Amateur. Celtic entered the game having progressed to the next round of the Cheshire Senior Cup with a 3-0 win at Congleton Town on Tuesday. Yorkshire were eliminated from the West Riding Cup on Tuesday evening after falling to a 3-1 defeat against Tadcaster Albion. Well, following the win on Tuesday, Celtic boss Simon Howarth spoke to Taran Darmrate to provide his thoughts on the victory.
I thought we were excellent, well-deserved winners, and you come here tonight windy and big strong team. You probably smell a bit of an upset there, but we didn't give them a chance, and we dominated, and our quality came through. And as you said, Killer's got some minutes, and Ethan and Dougie has, and we've got 2 young lads on from the 18s as well, which is brilliant. And Matty scored a wonderful goal, so been a good night all round, really professional performance, and just the way we're performing at the moment. So I'm pleased for the lads.
So we've managed to get some momentum, another win. Was it pleasing as well to hopefully have everyone come through sort of unscathed?
Yeah, everyone was fine. We rested what we can, and we still had to play what we got. The squad isn't big enough to rest everybody, but managed to get Marcus off. There were a few tackles flying about, but listen, it's a cup tie, and they're a few leagues below us, and they wanted to leave their mark, if you like, on us. So we have to be careful with 1 or 2, but we have to make sure we won the game as well, and kept the momentum that we've had of late from Saturday. So really pleased that everyone's come through it okay, and some more minutes, like you said, for some of the lads that needed it.
Some of the goals today were pretty good football for ourselves.
Yeah, we played some good football. We did on Saturday, and we have again today. And I thought Jake was excellent. Marcus was good when he was on, and it's hard to single people out. I thought them 2 were really good up top, and the rest of the team was solid. And we're looking really dangerous on the counter when we go forward now. And 3 could have been a few more. Jake's hit the crossbar after about 2 minutes, and we had to weather a few moments from them set pieces, but you'd expect that. They got people like Tom Pope, experienced, ex-league striker, so they were a threat from set pieces, but in open play we dealt with it well.
A chance to see the likes of Dougie as well. Obviously he missed the last couple of games, been on the bench, but he's had a chance to come in today. Obviously got quite a bit of competition in the fullback areas. Yeah, we need to be strong all over, really. We want to try and have an extra player in every area where we can use, because we're going to need people. So I said to Doug, he's been a little bit unlucky, but we felt we could just get a little bit more quality going forward, and you've seen that from Josh, not only on Saturday but today. Some of his deliveries are excellent, and he's had a bit of a bang on the knee, nothing too serious, so we took him off. But Doug's had sort of half a game at left back and half at right back, so he's got a good 90 minutes under his belt. But it's like all the lads that aren't playing, like Ethan and Doug, and they've just got to keep going and wait for their opportunities. But we're going to need all 16 if we're going to do anything this season, and they're buying into that, which is good. Obviously at the club we place a big emphasis on our academy, especially yourself, working with the 18s just to get them. Like tonight, you've seen them progress, and you've seen Noah and Matty step onto the pitch. Matty's obviously scored a cracking goal. It's must be pleasing for you to see them progress.
Yeah, it is. It's great to see the 18s. I'm all for giving younger players a chance. at the right time. I've always done it in the teams I've been involved in, and when I was a young lad, I always wanted to get a chance. So when we can use them, we will do. We have in pre-season and everything else, and thought they both did really well tonight. You can see almost the development from the summer to now. They're away at their clubs and playing for Stalybridge's under 18s, and I know Matty's involved with Fyle College kind of thing. So you can see their developments kicked on again, and they both come on and did really well tonight. Obviously Matty gets the sort of headlines with a goal, but a lot of what he does is good. He's got a good engine, he's physically good, which will set him up this level of football, and he picks a pass as well. So excellent for the both of them, excellent for the club that now we're able to come here and do that and blood young players and give them a chance.
Neither of them didn't really seem bothered about getting involved, getting stuck in.
No, they're mature boys for their age. They're really polite. They're good kids, and we loved using them in the summer. But the squad got stronger and they drifted out. But we'll still use them, and they've done themselves no harm tonight. And they've made me think, if I go away from here, that we maybe need to bring them back into the sort of group for training and things, because they were both excellent. Like I said, it's got to be a good thing for the club. If we can start to produce our own to come through, it's only a good thing. But I'm conscious with young players, you have to manage them right, and I've been around long enough to know when to introduce players and when to take them out, and at the moment everything we do with them is working.
Saturday, another cup tie back at Barrowfold. It'd be good to have a cup run for the club, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we always want to. At the moment, we want to win as many games as possible. I said to the lads, we're here tonight, let's do it right and let's win, and they did do. And it's the same Saturday, and I know I'm disappointed we all were with Colton, and we really let ourselves down. I think this is kind of a different group and a different sort of atmosphere at the moment to then. So I'd be hopeful that we can go and deliver and perform and win the game. And we'd all have a good cup run and maybe a kind of glamour tie. The club almost is craving that of sorts. So we're desperate to go and win Saturday. We'll prepare right this week on Thursday, and hopefully we can go and do the job at home.
Celtic boss Simon Howarth there following Tuesday's win at Congleton Town. And finally, Ashton Fencing Club is attempting to break the stigma surrounding the sport by offering local school pupils a free taster session during the half-term break. The session, which took place at Astley Sports Village, was funded by the Fuel for Fun holiday scheme. I spoke to Barry Massey, Ashton chairman, and Mark Story, Astley Sports Village director, to get their thoughts on the day's event.
I started 8 years ago when I was 62, just as a fencer. I then became a coach, coaching foil and sabre, and then for my sins became chairman. That was probably about 6 years ago, and we've built the club back up again to where we are now.
And it's not really a mainstream sport, is it, like, say, football, cricket or rugby? So what influenced you to first take it up?
To be quite honest, most kids love fencing, and I think most adults, when they were kids, love fencing. I found an advert in the paper and decided to come along, and that's what we got started. And to be quite honest, it's one of these sports you either love it or hate it. I loved it and carried on since, and passed my skills onto the younger generation.
It's like I said before, it's a Marmite sport, but you've got a load of kids down here at Astley today. It must be really rewarding to see them enjoying it.
It's absolutely superb. It's fencing and doing a sport in a safe environment. I mean, if we were doing this at home, they'd probably be killing each other and poking their eyes out. Yeah. When it being done with proper equipment, proper management, proper supervision, it becomes a very, very safe sport.
It's got a bit of a stigma attached to it because it's not played in schools and stuff like that. Would you like to see it incorporated into the syllabus in PE?
Well, funny you should say that. We do a lot of taster sessions like we've done today in schools, in primary schools. We've got one or two schools in Tameside looking at forming their own fencing clubs. I won't mention the names yet because they've obviously not started, but we will help them progress by where they get equipment from, what qualifications the teachers need. As far as coaching is concerned, we have 4 coaches here. Fortunately, I'm retired, so I can do daytime sessions like the one we've done today. We did one on Monday for Manchester. It's a good sport for kids because it gives them a discipline, gives them a focus, become very agile, and mental-wise, it's an old adage really. Fencing is like playing chess, doing a military two-step, patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. Yeah. My reflexes since I've been playing have doubled. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really good sport for kids.
You told me before, you're 71 years old now, you've been doing this sport for 8 years. Do you think mentally and physically it's fine-tuned you and kind of like brought a new life into you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, I play squash as well, and my reflexes at playing squash, I mean, I play lads 40 years younger than me, and to be quite honest, they don't like playing me. Despite the fact I don't run as much as they are, the reflexes come in.
So can you tell us a bit about the relationship you've got with Mark here, Mark Story at Astley Sports Village? How did that come about?
We've been here now, oh goodness me, we've got to be 15, 20 years. Very fortunate with Mark because, I don't know if you can see all these cabinets behind us, this is all our fencing equipment. And Mark allows us to have this, and there's not many sports facilities that have this facility, because we do need the equipment. Working with Mark is brilliant. It's really good facility to do. And we have half the hall here on a Thursday night, and yeah, it's brilliant.
So ideally, looking forward with a future vision, would you like to see the sport grow and introduced to schools, even in primary schools, to get a taste of it and then see where it goes from there?
I would love most schools to have taster sessions. It's a sport most kids don't have the opportunity to try. I mean, taster sessions like this today, if we have 2-3 kids coming on a Thursday night, that's brilliant, because they've tried it, they love it, they come back. Yeah. And I would like to see, even if it's only half a day for an hour, in schools, primary schools, secondary schools, just to try the sport. I find a lot of our junior fencers literally come from the same schools. So they tell their mates, and mates say, oh, I've never tried, I never knew that. We didn't know there was a sport fencing club in Tameside. And come along, try it. If they don't like it, not a problem. If they like it, then, you know, we progress them further.
So Fuel for we've been probably about the last 12 months now. Obviously we partnered with the Tameside Sports Network and Active Tameside to deliver you know, Fuel Fun activities where it's multi-sports focused day. We've got a fantastic community around us. We've got U-Tree Primary School who's here today. Some of their kids are here today. 4 days of fun. They're having a great time. The coaches are tired out, but yeah, we're all good.
Fencing today, bit of a different sport, not a mainstream sport.
Yeah.
So it's good to see kids getting involved in something that they wouldn't usually get involved with.
This is the beauty of like these camps here, because you do actually do multi-sports and activities where necessarily wouldn't really get that opportunity. We've got a fantastic link with Ashton Fencing Club who do sessions here on a Thursday night for juniors and adults. So we brought them down to come and deliver a session with these guys. As you can see from the footage you've took, they've all had a great time, and it's a sport again what's, you know, they'll enjoy and take something from.
I believe that your partnership with Ashton Fencing Club's quite unique, because when I was speaking to Barry before, he said he needs these kind of facilities. You've got all the equipment here, and it's great to see that.
Yeah, you know what, we're very much community club focused. We host a range of clubs here. Ashton Fencing Club are a fantastic club, and again, it's a minority sport, so it's sometimes more difficult for them to get people into the sessions. But through their session what they've done here and their work in local schools, they've got a really good kind of core junior section and an adult section. The more I can bring the clubs involved with these camps, it's perfect for the facility.
Excellent stuff. And just finally, it's final day tomorrow. Yeah. Tell us what's going to be going on.
So tomorrow, well, it's all five. We have roller disco, so we might do roller disco tomorrow morning. We've got dodgeball, kids love dodgeball, and then we've got inflatables from Jam at Leisure, the local supplier I've got, who's going to do inflatable session in the afternoon to finish off 4 days of Fuel for Fun.
Well, I'm afraid that's it for this week's Sports Talk. However, you can find more local sports news on our website, questmedianetwork.co.uk.